Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wrap, only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castoreno. Let's get you up to date on some of the biggest stories of the week. At number 4 in our countdown, the San Antonio Spurs are adding serious size and defensive upside from the NBA draft. With the 20th pick, the Silver and Black chose Kentucky big man Jaden Quantis. The 18-year-old was once a top lottery prospect before a knee injury slowed him down, but scouts still rave about his shot-blocking potential alongside Wemby. The Spurs then traded back into the first round, sending the 35th pick and 2 future second-rounders to Denver for the 26th selection. They used it on UConn center Terrace Reed Jr., a first-team All-Big East standout who averaged nearly 15 points and 9 rebounds last season. At number 3 in our countdown, as Kanye West's 4th of July concert nears, backlash is growing. Community and faith leaders are urging city officials to deny the Alamo Dome booking, citing his history of anti-Semitic remarks. At the same time, 6 San Antonio City Council members have released a joint statement condemning anti-Semitism and hate, while also opposing any effort to block his performance. In the letter, the group says they can condemn hate without resorting to censorship, which could set a precedent toward limiting free speech. Council members also weighed the economics of the concert, saying this will generate roughly $1.7 million for the city. As of now, the concert is still a go with 60,000 people expected to attend. A woman on San Antonio's east side was able to get help from SAWS to prevent her sewer line from backing up. But the contractors who did the work, they left her yard littered with debris. Finally, the woman called KENS 5. Andrew Moore tells us what happened next.
Charlotte Williams-Ratcliffe says she's thankful that a SAWS program was able to help her fix a plumbing issue at her home, but the contractors also left the yard a complete mess. She couldn't get them to come back and pick it up, but after KENS 5 notified SAWS about this issue, they had it cleaned up immediately.
They said that the backflow valve had collapsed.
Charlotte Williams-Ratcliffe needed help after her sewer line started backing up in her yard. But fortunately, she qualified for a SAWS program called Laterals to People. SAWS came out in April and replaced a whole sewer line from her yard to the street for free, and they also broke through and replaced her sidewalk. She was glad the sewer issue was solved.
It didn't cost me anything. They put new plumbing in.
But the contractors did not come back out to clean up. That left piles of boards, rocks, loose nails, rebar, and other things all around her yard.
We're stuck with all the rest of the mess.
She tried making calls but could not get the contractor back out, so finally she called KENS 5.
You need help, call KENS.
KENS 5 then notified SAWS and sent them pictures of the mess Williams-Ratcliffe was dealing with. And then, in less than 24 hours, SAWS made sure a contractor came back out and cleaned it all up.
They got it all done in one day.
SAWS also sent us a statement that said in part, the contractor that did the job completed the work but was called away to respond to an emergency sewer lateral repair for another customer. When we learned that the litter had been left behind, our team addressed the issue immediately on Thursday to ensure the property was left clean and safe. Williams-Ratcliffe says she is thankful the SAWS Laterals to People program was available to stop those sewer backups in the first place.
I won't have that sewer backup coming up in my yard.
And she's glad it's now cleaned up after she called KENS 5.
KENS 5 was wonderful.
And again, Ratcliffe says she's thankful to SAWS for helping her solve that initial plumbing issue. We'll have more on that program at KENS5.com. For Call KENS, Andrew Moore, KENS 5.
Glad we were able to get her some help. The Weekly Wrap back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem, call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very, 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 very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. At number 2 in our countdown, the number of Air Force trainees at JBSA Lackland who have now come down with the flu is growing, and health officials, they're working to contain the outbreak. That's reportedly now left 300 people ill. Now military leaders are reinstating flu vaccine requirements for recruits as they work to prevent more infections from happening. 275 people have been infected at Lackland within the past few weeks. In late April, Secretary Hegseth made the flu vaccine voluntary for service members, but by May, all military departments had formally requested to keep requiring the flu vaccine for certain service members. As according to CBS News, which is also reporting that only about 40% of Air Force trainees have gotten the flu shot since the mandate rollback. If you are an active person, heart disease may not be a condition you think should be a concern to you. But as KENS 5's Jeremy Baker reports in today's Healthy Essay, that's just another example of why heart disease is often called the silent killer.
Are you kidding me? You know, it's like, God, I mean, this is like the joke's on me.
That was Harold Lance's reaction when he found out about his dire heart situation around Thanksgiving of last year. The 69-year-old marathon runner thought he was getting a simple heart screening. His doctor dropped a bomb.
He said, Mr. Lance, bad cholesterol is 400. Yours is at 2,000. You're a walking heart attack. I couldn't believe it.
He thought he'd be getting a stent, but his doctor said he was too blocked up. He needed open heart surgery.
We're going to have to go in, crack your chest, basically, sternum, and they call it the cabbage. The cabbage is the name of the operation, a triple bypass.
You know, we know that activity and physical activity and nutrition play a key role in what we do in eliminating or reducing heart risk. It doesn't erase it.
Never in a million years did I see this coming. I got a scar to show for it.
I think the key takeaway from that powerful message that he gave was, number 1, listen to your body. Number 2, seek evaluation. And then number 3, this is the toughest one, is to act on the information you get.
Now, after some other complications like blood clots and fluid in the lungs, Lance is back to his new normal and plans to enjoy life and possibly run another marathon eventually.
I plan on living a long time. And the doctors told me with good diet and proper exercise, I could live another 20 plus years.
To learn more about coronary artery disease in both men and women and the ways to help prevent it, head to this story on KENS5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Wow, amazing recovery there. The Weekly Wrap will be back after this break.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
so good!
That is fantastic.
Catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. You know, for some drivers, a traffic stop is an inconvenience. For drivers with autism, it can be a frightening experience. Now, a Kerrville family is advocating for a tool designed to help officers recognize those situations before they escalate. KENS 5's Simone Simpson shares her story.
I'd seen different videos or heard about experiences where, you know, somebody gets pulled over and they have autism or maybe some other communication challenge. The interaction between that person and law enforcement hasn't always gone the way that, you know, we may want it to.
This is Megan Booth, Blue Envelope Program Advocate. At first glance, it looks like a simple document holder, but printed on the outside are communication guidelines that help officers quickly recognize when someone may need a different approach, making the interaction safer and less stressful for everyone involved, like Megan and her 16-year-old daughter, Briley, who has autism.
I feel like I won't be able to have to worry about anything, and I feel pretty happy that there's something that can help me out with it.
This small but meaningful visual cue was announced in Kerrville in April. Advocates believe it can make a big difference in the outcome of an encounter for both the officer and members of the community.
A traffic stop can be very overwhelming already. And for someone with autism, you've got lights and a radio, and they're talking over the radio, and they're asking you for, 3-4 things at once. And now they'll notice automatically by seeing that blue envelope that, hey, we need to approach this differently, and that does give me some peace of mind.
Megan was inspired by Massachusetts State Police, which was implementing this program.
Once we got it established here in Kerrville, we went to Austin and we got to go to the Capitol and get a little tour and meet with some of the legislators there.
Megan and her daughter Briley are working to expand the program statewide, where it will be called Briley's Law. The legislation has been submitted for drafting. Megan insisted this isn't just for those with autism. It can help people with dementia, anxiety, or other conditions.
I feel happy for them, and I feel that it can help people out, and I'm happy that people can have something to help them out.
Blue envelopes are available free of charge and can be picked up in person at the Kerrville Police Department Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. No appointment necessary. Reporting from Kerrville, I'm Simone Simpson, KENS 5.
Wow, what a great program. All right, and at number 1 in our countdown, Camp Mystic has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. 27 young campers and counselors at the camp were killed in last year's 4th of July flood. In its filing, Camp Mystic operators said the property may pose a threat to safety and needs to be physically protected from weather events. The filing notes camp debts exceed $10 million. In April, Camp Mystic leaders decided not to reopen this summer. State investigators recently concluded the camp did not have adequate emergency plans and started evacuations too late during last summer's tragedy. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on KENS 5 Plus. We'll see you next week with another round of headlines. Bye, guys.